The lights of the studio beamed down, illuminating the polished surfaces of the set with an almost unnatural brightness. The audience buzzed with anticipation, shifting in their seats as the energy in the room grew heavier with each passing moment. They had come expecting a spectacle, a debate, a confrontation. What they got was something much more powerful. Seated at the center of the stage was Karoline Leavitt, young, poised, and unwavering. She exuded confidence, not the loud, showy kind, but the quiet kind that rattles those who seek to shake it. Across from her, on the opposite side of the table, sat Ryan Caldwell, one of the most notorious liberal TV hosts in the industry. Sharp-witted, well-spoken, and known for his aggressive interview tactics, Ryan thrived on making his guests uncomfortable. He had taken down politicians, activists, and even celebrities, and tonight his target was Karoline. The conversation had started like any other. A few warm-up questions, a polite back and forth. Then, without warning, he leaned forward, smirked, and delivered his ambush. "Take it off." Silence. A murmur rippled through the crowd. Karoline blinked, tilting her head slightly. "Excuse me?" Ryan gestured toward her necklace, the small, delicate cross resting just above the neckline of her blouse. "Take it off," he repeated, this time with a hint of smugness. "If you truly believe in equality and inclusivity, then you should respect those who don't share your faith. So take it off." Gasps, a few hushed whispers. Even some of Ryan's usual supporters shifted uncomfortably. Karoline exhaled slowly, then reached for the cross, but she didn't unclasp it. Instead, she held it gently between her fingers and smiled. "You want me to take off my faith?" she asked, her voice even. "Is that what this means to you?" Ryan opened his mouth, but she continued. "Because this isn't just a necklace. It's not decoration. It's a reminder. A reminder of strength when I felt weak. A reminder of the values I try to live by. Kindness, love, respect. You don't have to believe in it. That's your right. But why does it bother you that I do?" The air in the room thickened. Ryan shifted in his seat. "It's not about that," he argued, attempting to regain control. "It's about keeping religion out of public spaces." Caroline's brow arched slightly. "So, let me ask you this," she said. "Do you demand others remove symbols of their beliefs, their ideologies? Or is it just faith that seems to be the problem?" More murmurs in the audience. Ryan's smirk faltered. "That's not what I'm saying." "Isn't it?" Karoline countered. A slight pause. He wasn't expecting this. "You said equality. You said inclusivity," she continued. "But are those things only reserved for people who think like you?" A few claps. Someone in the back muttered, "She's got a point." Ryan forced a chuckle, trying to mask his discomfort. "I just think symbols like that can be divisive." Karoline leaned forward, her expression thoughtful. "Faith isn't divisive. Actions are. Words that exclude, that shame, that seek to erase others. Those are divisive. If my necklace offends you, maybe it's not the symbol that's the issue. Maybe it's something inside you." The entire room was silent now. Ryan's confidence visibly wavered. For the first time, he wasn't in control of the conversation. He thrived on making his guests squirm, forcing them into defensive corners. But Karoline wasn't defending. She was educating. "You think asking me to remove this is about inclusivity," she said softly. "But true inclusivity isn't about silencing others. It's about respecting differences, and I respect yours, even if you don't respect mine." More applause, louder this time. Ryan cleared his throat. "I think you're twisting my word," he said quickly. Karoline shrugged slightly. "Or maybe you're hearing them differently than you expected." His jaw tightened. "Look, I'm just saying symbols like that shouldn't define public figures." Karoline nodded slowly. "And yet, here we are. You asked me to take mine off. But would you ask someone to remove a rainbow pin, a cultural emblem, a political message? Or is it just faith that makes you uncomfortable?" Ryan had no answer. The audience wasn't just watching anymore. They were witnessing something bigger than a debate. A man who prided himself on control was losing it, and a young woman who was supposed to be shaken stood unmoved. Finally, Karoline exhaled, letting the moment sink in. "I wear this not because I think my faith makes me better than anyone else," she said, "but because it reminds me to be better than I was yesterday, to be better to my family, my friends, strangers, even those who challenge me." Her eyes met his. "That is what my faith symbolizes. And if that offends you, maybe it's not my necklace that's the issue." Standing ovation. The audience erupted into applause. Even Ryan's own colleagues seemed taken aback. Ryan leaned back in his chair, exhaling sharply. Well, he muttered, adjusting his tie. That didn't go as expected. Karoline simply smiled. Maybe it's time we start expecting more. By the next morning, clips of the exchange had gone viral. Social media exploded. News channels ran segments breaking down every word. Even networks that had never supported Karoline admitted she had handled the moment with unmatched grace. Ryan Caldwell, for the first time in his career, had no response. A day later, in a brief statement, he said, "I respect different perspectives," a far cry from the confident demands he had made just the night before. As Karoline walked through the city later that day, people stopped her. An older woman approached, eyes filled with tears. "My granddaughter saw your interview," she whispered. "She told me she's not afraid to wear her cross to school anymore." Karoline smiled. That was why it mattered. Not for headlines, not for clicks, but for the people who needed to see that faith is not just something you wear, it's something you live. And no one has the power to take it away. What do you think? Did Karoline handle the situation the right way? Let us know in the comments below. If you love inspiring stories of strength, faith, and standing up for what you believe in, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible stories. See you in the next video.